Denzel Curry dropping "Melt My Eyes, See My Future." Um, Man, I mean, when you think Denzel Curry, what comes to mind?
Energy,
Yeah,
the best
just
product of Florida SoundCloud rap of the
yes.
2010s. That's what I think of. Big Denzel
Same
Curry
for me.
fan. Hugely anticipating a new record from him. We haven't had a full length album since Zoo in 2019, but definitely a bit of a twist on the Denzel Curry sound that you expect if you're a long time listener like me. So excited and interesting to talk about. I think this one.
Yeah, I mean, we really liked Zoo when we talked about it back in 2019. I think we were just kind of like, he's able to like keep this energy, start expanding his sound a bit, and just sounds awesome. Obviously, I think Taboo, everybody knows where he blew up, but it's been a little bit since we got an album from him.
Mhm.
Got, well, I guess, Unlocked, but I don't think
Yeah,
we really
those are
talked
the
about
Kenny
that.
Beats EPs. They're all right.
Yeah. So Melt My Eye is really the first like notable album in a few years, and I was just really like struck by the direction he chose to go in this, and it feels like Denzel's an artist thinking a little bit more long term
Mm.
in terms of I don't need to bring fire every single time. Maybe this is a good opportunity to start trying to come up with some material that's a little bit more reflective, a little bit more introspective. And I was honestly really impressed, not only because I think hearing Denzel be introspective was better than I expected it to be. I don't think I necessarily thought of him as a very like thoughtful artist, but more so just like bring the heat every time. I thought this album sounded really good from start to finish. And he has some really high profile producers on this, so makes sense that it would sound great. But I just wasn't expecting it and was blown away. What did you think of "Melt My Eyes, See Your Future"?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't have as long a list of songs I want to revisit as, say, Unlocked or Zoo, or sorry, Zoo or Taboo or even Imperial do. Like, I really like that kind of the Denzel brand of
Mm.
SoundCloud rap because it's super high level. It's really barely SoundCloud rap. Like, yes, he blew up with Raider Clan, he blew up on SoundCloud, but there's just so much artistry in all those past records. And like Zoo is like super indebted to all kind the history of Florida rap in general, even beyond SoundCloud. Like he's been a thoughtful guy, and I think lyrically he has had good wordplay, but he hasn't looked inward as much as he has until Melt My Eyes. So I think that's kind of like the key change there is it's super reflexive and inward looking, and who knows if it's super a product of the time. He's spoken a lot about his influences on this album. They're vast for sure, but I still think like even when Denzel's not making his brand of banger, he can still really deliver. I think fun storytelling, interesting storytelling, whether that's about himself, whether that's a story, a fictional story, whatever it is. But for me, I was actually even more impressed with some of the subtle shifts to his overall sound on Melt My Eyes here. And I think there's a few clear highlights that stand out to me. But yeah, even though like it might not be what people were necessarily thinking they wanted from Denzel Curry, I still think there's a lot to really appreciate about it. And like you said, long term, uh, best to still be investing in Denzel Curry because he's clearly coming across as a very intentional artist.
Yeah, and I do feel like we get a few songs that maybe aren't as high as some of the bangers off Zoo or Taboo, but definitely still really enjoyed "Ain't No Way," which has
Yeah.
Black, Rico Nasty, Jid, Jazea Powers, sorry, Jazea, and then Powers some
Powers Pleasant's the producer. Yeah.
Powers Pleasant, yes. I thought that song went really hard. It had like a nice switch up. Obviously you get like Rico Nasty coming in second, just bringing
Yeah.
absolute
Classic
Rico
Rico right there.
like chaotic energy, which I just like loved that shot of adrenaline, especially after Troubles with T Pain, which I thought was a nice track, but
Hmm.
T Pain sounded a little like out of place for
Right.
me on this. Um,
I didn't mind
but
hearing T Pain though. Got to be honest. I thought T Pain himself sounded good.
T Pain is always a joy to listen to. He always sounds great. I just don't know if he always fits. But Yeah, and then I thought JID also gave a really like solid feature on this, which I was like, ah,
Mm.
nice to hear him like doing something that caught our eye a little bit more here. What other tracks did you like though?
Yeah, I agree on Ain't No Way for sure. The last I quite enjoyed. I really liked his flow on that one. Uh, Angels stood out to me. I think, kind of a quick line, referencing if I want to be Jay or Ja, obviously a reference to his parted friend Existence Tentacion with the Ja part there. But I think the clear sonic standout has to be X-Wing, because that is something that Denzel Curry has not done before, mixing super melodic chorus with the Denzel Curry raps. Not that he hasn't been melodic before. Of course, look no further than Clout Cobain off Taboo. He has
Yeah,
done that before. But I think this specific brand that he does on X-Wing, while giving you those more introspective bars, I thought that was like a really impressive track, and definitely the one I was running back the most.
yeah. X Wing was another clear standout. The Ain't No Way and X Wing back to back is the highlight of the album for sure. Yeah, just as like just a really like beautiful song, and I guess X Wing. I don't know any of the producers on this. Dirt Work, Clutch George, and Darko. Not really producers that stand out to me, especially when you have like Kenny Beats or JPEG Mafia
Right.
um, making tracks all over, but certainly a standout. I also really liked the first track,
Mm.
Melt Sesh One or Melt Session One. Just the percussion on that and the way Denzel just like glides over it the whole time just really caught me. And it really sucked me into the album. So I thought it was really effective as an opener. Um, any features or anybody that like stood out to you as a guest on this?
I thought the smell of death was cool because that was a Thundercat beat. Thought that one
Yeah.
sounded good there. Um, Also cool to see Dr. Genius on a few songs. Of
Mhm.
course, fabled Kid Cudi, longtime collaborator. I wanted more from the Slow Tie guest spot there on
Yeah.
Zaitochi, just because he's barely on the song. He's just part of the hook, but it's like a really like produced section. So it's like the slow tie of it all doesn't really come across. You would think though that slow tie and Denzel Curry are a great match for their true. What you think of with them with their high energy music. Alas, I like to see them go for it again with that one. Um, and then I think the first single, "Walkin'," is
Yeah.
perhaps his best moment of just straight storytelling, just straight just getting to the bars. I think that's really one of his best tracks.
A lot of I think there's a lot to take away from this, and I think just growth as an artist in general for Denzel. So even if this isn't maybe our favorite album from him, I think it's a sign of progress in terms of
Yeah,
him just as an artist. So
yeah. It's
really
always
pleased.
totally. It's always good when even if you don't love the particular direction, you still admire it because there's lots of undeniable aspects to it, and that's definitely how I feel about it. Denzel Curry has actually been the list of artists I have yet to see live that I really want to see. He's at the top for me. I have just have missed him so far, and strangely, his upcoming tour is completely ignoring the northeast of the US and going everywhere else. It seems like a choice that will be rectified in time, but kind of weird that right now there's no northeast states. So, waiting for those to change.